blues pilgrimage, the Rolling Stones recorded at Chess, when they came face to face with their idols.
I just wanna make love to you.
I'm only 21. I died and gone to heaven. You know what I mean? Everybody was very supportive, you know, because you feel you're walking right into the lion's den at that age. And to come out with everybody's goodwill was, you know, yeah, okay, now we can talk, you know.
They were drinking hard liquor out of the bottle, like Jack Daniels right out of the bottle, you know. And of course the black artists would pour it in a water glass and sip it. It was a different style.
I know a lot of more about the blues by meeting the people than you ever would just by listening, you know. I mean, I've slept at Muddy's house. And I woke up at Howling Wolf's, but that's another story.
When the Stones broke big a year later, America was suddenly all ears.
We just thought more people should hear the blues. And then as we got popular, we found that we were more in a position to do that. We were missionaries in a way.
An invitation to perform on a top teenage TV show called Shindig presented them with an irresistible opportunity.
I was at the 1965 Shindig taping where the Rolling Stones would not be on Shindig unless Howling Wolf could be on. ABC thought it was an animal act. A Howling Wolf? Sure, whatever you want, bring a Howling Wolf.
They had no idea who Howling Wolf was, and probably wish they didn't, because, I mean, these are uptight white cats from L.A., you know, and it's the early 60s.
So I think it's about time you shut up and we had Howling Wolf on stage.
How many more years till I have to let you dog me around? How many more years?
The audience loved Howling Wolf, and they were like, he overwhelmed them.
The Stones had managed to smuggle a 54-year-old, 6'3", 21 stone, forgotten Mississippi bluesman onto primetime television. Mainstream America sat up and watched the Wolf smash through a racial barrier.
From that, a lot of guys who felt that their music was sort of being like drifted off because of Motown and RnB found a whole new audience.
The British did it and went and told the world who these great people was. And then that's when white America said, let me go see.
The Rolling Stones were the first pop stars to insist that they were playing the blues. With them, a new wave of American white kids picked up electric guitars and started playing blues licks.
I didn't hardly know any white people who were listening to blues music before them English bands come over, and all of a sudden everybody's name was a blues band. All of a sudden it was like Santana Blues Band, or Steve Miller Blues Band, or Siegel Schwab Blues Band. But for those who still saw the blues as an acoustic folk art, these electric blues bands were imposters. So when pioneering musicologist Alan Lomax introduced the Paul Butterfield Blues Band in Newport in 1965, these two opposing visions of the blues would collide.
I think amongst the white folk fans, there was definitely the feeling that if you didn't have an acoustic guitar, if you had an electric guitar, you weren't the real thing.
In 1965, we went to Newport. It was the Paul Butterfield Blues Band. Alan Lomax, who was the curator of the workshop, just took great offense at the fact that these guys were plugged in and playing loud.
He didn't like the idea of this group at all. They were electric. Lomax said, you've heard the real thing. You've heard blues musicians from the South play this music. Now we're going to hear some kids from Chicago, with the help of all these amplifiers up here, try and play the blues.
They just tore it up. I mean, they were bad to the bone. me standing on the sidelines, just almost jumping out of my skin with my friends because we were so knocked out by the sound they were putting out.
Grossman, who was managing the Paul Butterfield Band, said, "That was a real chicken shit introduction, Alan." And the next thing you know, they're throwing punches.
We look over, and these two big old guys are engaged in fisticuffs and rolling around in the dirt there on the side of the stage. That was an interesting indication of how the old guard decided that they were going to be the people who defined what the blues were.
The blues represented a certain kind of idealized Americana. It represented a kind of communitarian vision. Putting an electric guitar on it was like, sticking a dollar sign in front of it.
He was upset because these people with their decades and centuries honed style of making music and singing, were just kind of being swept aside.
What fascinated Alan always was where the music came from. I don't like the word pure, but I like the word basic, that they were finding all the original forms of the blues. But then I'm not sure he liked what happened to it because, it did partly become commercialised.
You can understand he's from his era, and he's been honking around all of these penitentiaries looking for the original thing, looking for fool's gold.
Preserving this vision of an authentic acoustic blues was rapidly becoming an irrelevance. A new generation of white American blues rock fans were rediscovering the electric blues greats. One blues man who had no nostalgia for acoustic guitars in Depression-era Mississippi was B.B. King.